transform your life with this one habit. When you master this habit, when you become an expert in this habit, your whole life is going to change. And I'm going to let you know, you don't need a college degree, you don't need a certain background or environment you've grown up in, you don't need money, you don't need anyone to support you with this habit. This habit you develop yourself. Hello everyone, Tanya Pluckrose here from Rich Results Mindsets, and today the habit I want to introduce you to that you may or may not be an expert in yet, but I highly recommend that you do become an expert. That habit is the habit of persistence. Persistence, that's right, to persist no matter what, especially when the tough gets going. You see, most people give up 3 feet from gold, yet if only they had had the courage to pass the persistent test. And I do know this, that if you want your manifestations to be realized, you must pass the persistent test, whether within inside the boardroom of your subconscious mind, inside your mind, or with actual action. You see, most people give up before the miracle. And the funny thing is, the miracle happens after you've passed the persistent test. And I know that I work with a lot of clients, and many of my clients are going after big, audacious goals. And of course, they don't know the how. And the how always presents itself in little bite-sized pieces. But some of those bite-sized pieces are, well, rather challenging. They can be very, very uncomfortable because you have to stretch. And so the one thing that my clients and what I've had to do is continue to persist. I mean, think about it. So Edward Hillary, he was, well, masterful at passing the persistent test, because he did not climb Mount Everest once, he did not climb Mount Everest twice, but he climbed it 3 times. 3 times he climbed it. And this guy in back in the days would have been considered mad, outlandish, illogical. Why would you go back 3 times to finally summit Mount Everest? But Sir Hillary kept going. And so I often, when I'm going after my goal, what I'm discovering is when I'm going after my goal, I often compare myself to Sir Hillary. And I'm like, wow, I have a rich woman's problem right now, because I've got everything at my convenience that's easily accessible for me to continue to pass the persistent test to move towards my goal. But Sir Hillary didn't even have that, but he kept going. I mean, he truly was amazing. And I no doubt every time he went back to Mount Everest to try and summit it, he would have probably compromised his body terribly with frostbite from the year before's trying to summit Mount Everest. But he kept going. And so I have discovered that if you are going to realize your manifestations, you have to persist. You have to persist, and don't let your paradigm win. Don't let your 5 senses hijack you and stop you. Don't let other people's opinions stop you. When your soul has given you a divine plan, then you must act on it. And the way to realize it is you have to pass the persistent test. And so my post to you, to each and every one of you today, is don't give up when you are only 3 feet from gold. Keep going. The miracle happens after you pass the persistence test. And so I'd love to hear from you today. Leave some examples in the comments of how you have had to pass the persistent test. What has the universe sent you as challenges that you have overcome? Because I feel that if you can announce them to the world, you are announcing them to yourself. And by you looking at your strength within you, you are creating a new belief inside yourself that if you can do that, you can do anything. But many of us forget our successes. We forget our successes and we constantly remember our failures. And of course, we then build up a self-image of failure when we really should be looking back at all our successes and how we passed the persistent test and taking that, what I call psychic income, from going through challenges and passing those, taking that psychic income and then putting it onto anything right now that you might be going through to keep you going, passing the persistent test. So if any of my content is resonating with you, I'd love it if you would share or even subscribe, because I'm all about helping you master your mind so you can master your life. Many thanks.